19th step, which is the Sixth Sense by Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I want to take a minute to step back and reflect over the last 12 weeks of creating these videos, talking through these processes in order to get us to this point today. Because there's something special about this Sixth Sense that takes each of the previous 12 steps in order to truly get and understand. So it started with desire, meaning you had to have something burning within you, some sort of desire burning within you in order to actually start this manifestation process. Next up, it was faith. This isn't necessarily a religious thing, but it's simply saying that you've got a belief in something greater than you, that the things that you want are possible to achieve through certain steps and actions. Next up was autosuggestion, because many people didn't know how to have faith. So there were steps outlined on how to build both confidence and faith simultaneously within that third video on autosuggestion. Next up was specialized knowledge. If you want to obtain riches and wealth in whatever the area is in your life, you've got to know something. It's great to be a generalist, and there are a lot of awesome topics out there that people can learn about and discuss over tea and coffee. Wonderful. And it's the person that takes that knowledge, that specialized knowledge, kind of focuses in, laser sharp, that ends up achieving those goals and dreams because they're adding value to the marketplace. They're adding value to other people's lives through what they've taken the time to learn and the time that they've invested in themselves through schooling or trades or just the time itself that it takes to get specialized knowledge in an area. Next up, there's imagination. There was the amazing step of taking a moment to think about things and let it expand, and then go past that, and then go past that, and then think of the biggest things that you can dream of in terms of how to accomplish them, what they would look like, and getting within that feeling. That imagination really sets the tone for us. So again, that was the fifth week, the fifth step towards riches. Organized planning came up next. That was number 6. When you plan things, it has to be done in a logical order, right? We talked about building the roof first before the foundation of the house. Doesn't really make sense in architecture. Definitely doesn't make sense in achieving your goals and dreams. After that, there's a decision that needs to be made. You have to stand firm on the things in which you decide to do and not let anyone sway or push you or rock the boat, the negative Nancys and naysayers that will inevitably come. You can't let them move you away or sidestep you from your goals, dreams, or purpose of manifestation, the things which you desire. Afterwards was persistence. So when those things do come, when the rocks do tumble, when the people do come and try to move and sway you, when you get those obstacles that you got to figure how to get around, through, or over, persistence is what keeps you moving through it. That's that dedication internally where you say, I will, until. Then there's the power of the mastermind. So you've got people that think like you, that are surrounding you. Those people are the ones that are going to assist you with obtaining your goals and dreams in that mastermind group. So it's important to select and choose them wisely. Afterwards, we talked about sexual transmutation, specifically, as the author related, from a male's perspective. So again, remember, have the energy, have the desire, use it wisely. Next up, there was the subconscious mind. That was the 11th step towards riches. That's that area just a step below conscious that says, I know what I'm thinking about, but I'm actually not thinking about it, right? Now, excuse me, that's the unconscious. Then below that is the subconscious, which you're not really aware of, but you program through autosuggestion in order to, again, help out with the previous steps, keeping that persistence, making that desire grow stronger, manifesting things through certain connections you make, hunches you have, etc. Last week, we discussed the brain, that piece of gray matter between your ears that seemingly makes all of this possible. Thinking about what you're thinking about, how the vibrations that are literally moving through the waves, the airwaves, whatever you want to call them, moving through the ether, how those things affect you, and how you can take greater control of that gray matter and put it to use for yourself and your dreams. That leads us all up to this point, right? The sixth sense, What is this sixth sense? It's seemingly this mystical, magical type of thing that says, hey, I got an idea, I got a hunch. It kind of came from somewhere. It's almost like premonition. Sixth sense can be used to warn you of impending danger, just the same as it can give you insight to an idea that's going to take off. Right? It's that sixth sense, but that sixth sense is something that can only be mastered once the previous 12 steps have been mastered. So go back, take a look at those last 12 videos. Promise you, you'll enjoy it. You might get a couple of laughs, take a few notes, might want to share it with a friend or a family member. And more importantly, when you use, if you choose to use these things that we've discussed and act on them, you will grow into whatever form of richness that you desire. It may not be monetarily, it might just be in the family, it might just be in your local community, or it might be the mega wealthy. You might be the next Tony Robbins, great speaker, great author, great designer, whatever it is, you grow into that thing once you master these previous 12 steps. And then this 13th one that we discussed a little bit tonight begins to take shape in your life, where then your steps will almost be guided, so much so that you're on autopilot. So then, with it warning you of danger, again, you have to understand that some things are in your best interest, some things aren't. You'll start to get those hunches and figuring out which ones are and aren't. You'll also be led on a journey, right? This entire time, we've been led on a journey for the last 12 weeks, and it's been exciting. One of the things that gets discussed in the book after this, is the 6 ghosts of fear and how to outwit them, which I actually, if you remember from the verse video, chose to discuss first, because at this point, you want to have addressed the fears up front, not in the back. So you don't go through the process of getting this information, practicing this information, using and acting upon these things that you've learned, and then talk about fear. That'll actually stop you dead in your tracks from going forward. So we talked about fear first to get it out of the way, and now it's time to continue to take action. Now it's time to sharpen those skills of decision, auto-suggestion, practicing your organized planning, working that organized plan, and then utilizing the power of your mastermind, your specialized knowledge, so that you can see and feel what it's like when these hunches come about that assist you in getting the things that you want. Again, that sixth sense is one of the most powerful things. I've had several instances where it's kind of kicked in and kept me from having something bad happen. And it's also given me insight into industry that's allowing me now to grow, again, this business, several businesses at the same time, in a way that I wouldn't have imagined otherwise. But it took for me to have that intuition, that nudge, if you will, to move from one place that wasn't serving me into a place that was. And again, that type of intuition, that type of hunch, that type of push, if you will, happens when that sixth sense is developed. All great leaders in time have used it, talked about it, discussed it in some way, shape, or form. So go back, for my religious friends and family out there, go back and revisit those texts, learn from some of those leaders, and see where they talk about themselves having a feeling about a thing. That's a sixth sense. Or where essentially they were just told that a thing was a right or a wrong thing to do. That's a sixth sense. Now, I'm not saying go out and follow every snap decision that comes in your head, because we all know some of them aren't necessarily the most healthy. Eat that extra piece of chicken. Have some more candy, right? Swallow down 3 more cups of coffee. Not at all, right? So you definitely want to keep your health in mind and what's going to make the most sense for yourself and the people around you. But while you do so, while you hone the sixth sense, while you work on your belief in yourself and using auto-suggestion and the rest of these tools, keep in mind that you're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. And sometimes it takes time to figure out what that purpose and what that reason is. But I promise you, you're not here for nothing. Right? Sometimes it may seem that way. Sometimes you may feel alone. But you have a purpose here, and it's up to you to take whatever that time is necessary to figure out what it is in order to put these steps in place, use them, and then again go out and accomplish your goals and dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an awesome experience sharing this information with you, putting this information to use myself, revisiting some of the words of this fantastic author. Again, if you have yet to, please reach out to me if you'd like a copy of the book in PDF form, or just hop on Amazon. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Look for the 1937 edition and put it to use. I would love to see all of my friends and family at their own finish lines in their lives, saying that they've accomplished their goals and dreams by using a proven method or systematic steps that they've taken in order to get, again, on the other side of success, whatever that looks like for you. So again, this wasn't going to be a long night. It's really a heart-to-heart, more or less, for everybody that's been out there following for the last few weeks, over the last couple of months, actually, since it started back in January. And it's been an incredible journey. I want to thank everybody for sticking with it through the last, again, few weeks and months, and look forward to the next series, which, again, we're still taking suggestions on what the next book will be. I've got a couple of suggestions already, reaching out for more. So again, if you have suggestions on books, please, no 50 Shades of Grey, no romantic novels, that kind of thing, but really strong, powerful, insightful books that you feel may help the masses to have broken down to simplistic terms with real life examples from today's time, please send them my way. I love to evaluate them and then go ahead and start the next series within about 2 to 3 weeks. So it's been a pleasure serving you guys, putting this information out there for review, for use. Please go ahead and pick the book up yourself. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Go and act on these things, act on these principles, and then share with us, share with your friends and family. Start your own YouTube channels. Do something to give back to the people that have been out there supporting you this entire time, and continue to add value to the lives of those around you. So again, it's been a pleasure. My name is Paul Flowers. This has been Act and Grow Rich. You all have a fantastic night. Bye-bye for now.